Tiara here with Gypsyfae Creations. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm doing a holiday soap, and I've got to be honest, I didn't come up with too many holiday soaps this year. I don't know what's gotten into me, but we are going to do a remake of the Gingerbread house soap that I made last year, since I've got like a new mold and I've got some better ideas than what I did last year. So gingerbread soap, and I am in the Bahamas. If you guys aren't aware from previous videos, I mentioned Bradley and I are going on a cruise, and I can't wait to share it with you guys and tell you everything about it. Stay tuned after the cutting of this video for some fun cruise pictures and videos. Let's get soap making. So this is the first official video in the new soap room. Different setup, not quite sure if I like it or not, but we're gonna try it. I like the natural light that I'm getting from the windows in here. Alright, so first step with this gingerbread soap, and I've done this before, we are going to make the roof of the house, and then I'm going to put the roof onto the base of the actual house, kind of like I did before. We're going to change things up just a little bit, but I'll show you. So the last time I made this soap, I made it in a 3-pound mold, and I pretty much sat it on its side to make the roof part, and then I made the base and sat the roof on top. Now that I'm using a larger 5-pound mold, I'm going to take this mold, that's the smaller mold, and I'm going to fill it up with just the brown batter, and then I'm going to cut it to make it a triangle and sit that on top of the 5-pound mold. That's the plan. So turned out last time, maybe I can make this one turn out as well. But I'm just going to add in my brown here because it is all going to be one color, brown. I've got some bronze brown, and I'm going to give that a mix with my sodium lactate lye and distilled water, and we'll give that a whirl. And this is the easiest part. It is so simple. The difficult part is going to be decorating every single one of these bars. Lots of detail going into them is what I have planned. So just making the actual house is the easy part. I think when you make gingerbread houses, I think it's the other way around. It's like putting together the house and not having it fall apart and making sure everything sticks together and is even is the difficult part. But in soap making, in my method, this is going to be the easy part. So let's give this a whirl. Alright, that is a really, really nice brown color there. I'm not going to go any darker than that because the scent I'm using is Ginger Snap. I believe this was discontinued, and that's why I bought it. It's because it was on clearance and I thought it would make a really good gingerbread house scent. So you can't get this anywhere, but it does have 4.1% vanillin in it, and it smells just like a Ginger Snap. So that is the fragrance that is going in this, and it might turn it a little bit more brown as it saponifies. Okay, so I'm just going to stir in the fragrance, and then I'm going to pour it into the 3-pound mold. And then we're going to let this sit for probably 24 hours. And then I'll come back and do some fancy cutting on it to make it look like the roof, and then we'll make the base of the soap. Okay, so I've trimmed up the roof triangles a little bit, so these are ready to go. I also have the leftover block that I'm going to cut up into like triangles or rectangles, not triangles, rectangles, because chimneys are in rectangle shapes, but I will trim this up into chimneys. Alright, so then the base of the soap, get started on that. I've got my color in there already. I've got some buttermilk powder and some kaolin clay. And I'm just going to pour in my lye water and sodium lactate and give that a mix. I'm going to add a little bit more brown in there, and then I'm going to mix in the rest of my fragrance, and then we'll just pour this into the large mold and attach our roofs on top. I love this gingerbread fragrance. It is a very spicy, very bready. It's a shame that they've discontinued it. It reminds me of like a real German gingerbread. It smells so good I could just eat it. Alright, let's give that a mix. Alright, so let's get our large mold together. So I've tried to get this soap to a pretty thick trace because when I go to set these roofs on top, I don't want them to sink down into the batter. I want them to sit right on top. So I'll probably have to pour this in and just let it sit a little bit more so that I can put the roofs on and have them stay. So I'm going to scrape this out. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes and then I'll come back and put the roofs on. Alright, let's try sitting these in here. Push it down just a little bit. Make sure everything is sticking. Just like that. That looks good. And I'm just going to let this sit for 24 hours and I'll come back and then we'll slice them into individual pieces and then I will decorate them individually. So it's ready to be cut and it turned out really good so far. Let's see what it looks like after we cut it and then we'll be able to decorate it. These are going to be really, really big bars of soap and probably really heavy just because they're going to have a lot of stuff on them. But that is a gingerbread house right there. I can't wait to decorate it. So I'll cut a couple more of these because nothing too special going on. And then I can tell you a little about the vacation that Bradley and I took. We love to travel. We wish we could do it more, but you know, money is always a factor and plane tickets are expensive and so on and so forth. But I always find that traveling is great because not only are you taking a vacation and it's a nice reset, you also get to explore the world, and that is one of my favorite things in the whole entire world is to explore the world. I want to see everywhere, although I keep going back to Ireland and I want to go back again next year. That is the plan. But this cruise that we took was through Carnival. We have never done a Carnival cruise, and from experience of taking 2 Royal Caribbean cruises and now a Carnival cruise, I've got to say Royal Caribbean is my favorite. But it was nice. It was a cruise, and lots of pros and cons to it. If you've never taken a cruise before, I still highly recommend it. Alright, so that, I like that. I'm gonna get my icing together now and we can decorate the gingerbread houses. So I'm gonna start off just by showing you some of the embeds. I got this mold as a birthday present from a friend. I think I'm on a whole new level when I start getting soap supplies for gifts. I've got these little melt and pour candy shapes. So just some circles and little candies. I've got some different colored sprinkles. Did some green and some red salts. They're actually Epsom salts that I rolled, or sea salts that I rolled in different colored micas. I've got the gingerbread men that I made with the mold. I've cut up the leftover end bits of the soap and I've made some doors. I've made some chimneys, and then I've got the candy canes from the mold and I've painted them with red mica. And look how cute these are. These are going to be my gumdrops to go on top. And this is just soap dough that was colored pink, and then I rolled it into some pink colored Epsom salts. That's why I said that before. That is Epsom salts. It's a lot finer than sea salt. So got my icing and we're going to start decorating these guys. Also forgot to show you guys these little wreaths that I made. Some of this is melt and pour. Some of the embeds are cold processed soap. So we're going to start by putting on the door. Just add a little bit of the soap icing and sticking the door on, just like you would with a regular gingerbread house. You would use icing to glue everything on. And then our gingerbread men, our wreath, and our window on our door. This is going to be super cute. So the cruise line that we took was Carnival, and I've done 2 Royal Caribbean cruises, and I really do like those so much better than Carnival, but when you go on a free cruise, you can't really complain. Carnival Pride was the name of the boat, and it left out of the Baltimore port, Baltimore Harbor, the Chesapeake Bay, something along those lines. And the reason why this ship was so small is because it has to be able to fit under the Key Bridge without like taking the whole top of the boat off. Alright. And I really liked the style of the ship. It almost reminded me of the Titanic. I don't think that's the greatest thing to say, but the design of the ship was very Renaissance looking, and there was just the patterns in all of the chairs and the carpet. There's a casino in there. Not that there was a casino on the Titanic. I'm just saying that it was very fancy. Everything was very fancy about this boat. Let's get our chimney on here. And if you've never been on a cruise before, there are some people that get really seasick. I have never gotten seasick before until this cruise. And there's patches that they sell, or you can go get a prescription. There's C-bands, which go on your wrist. They have pills that you can take, but the first 2 days of the cruise were a little rough as far as just being seasick and not really wanting to do anything. You get used to it as you go. You really don't have a choice, I guess. And all you kind of want to do is just lay down. I never threw up. That wasn't an issue. It's just you feel really nauseous and just really tired and you just don't want to do anything. But like I said, eventually I was fine. I got over it. I enjoyed myself. If you've ever been on a cruise, you'll know, or if you've ever been on a boat, you'll know whether you're a person who gets seasick or not. And some people are really bad. I, on the other hand, surprised myself. Alright, let's keep going. The cruise ship varies depending on which one you go, how big it is, how much stuff there is to do on it, but cruise ships run 24/7. There's always something going on. There's always something to get into, whether it's a show or a seminar or an auction or a contest. They had like Harry Potter trivia. They have yoga. There's spa on there. There's a casino on there. There's a dive-in pool movie theater that plays really good, like up-to-date movies. You'd be surprised that it's not like half of them I hadn't seen, in other words. They were fairly new. What else? The dining room at night, if you want to go get a formal dinner, some nights are casual, other nights you can get all dressed up in your best dresses and suits. and try different meals. They have things like alligator and conch and rabbit and lamb. Brad ate ox tongue. Not my cup of tea, but he tried it. The waiters are all really nice. You can order one of everything if you wanted to, and that's because like the portions are really small. It's not like being a pig and ordering these huge giant meals. Everything is really tiny. I forgot to decorate a lot of the front of the soap here. But yeah. The Halloween contest that Bradley and I did, there were a lot of really cool outfits and costumes. I mean, there's just so many people in the boat and everyone did an awesome job at dressing up. Bradley and I had asked you guys what would be a good suggestion for a couple's costume. Thank you all for those wonderful ideas. He really wanted to do Beetlejuice. So he dressed up as Beetlejuice and I was Lydia, and no one knew who the heck I was. Everyone just thought I was like some goth girl. Someone just dressed in black, wearing a sun hat. He, on the other hand, got so much into his role as Beetlejuice. He did such a great job. I did his makeup. He had the striped suits. We did not win, but again, no one knew who I was. He did a really great voice, Beetlejuice voice. So that was a lot of fun. Everyone at my work dressed up. We had Jessie and Woody from Toy Story. We had Dick Tracy, we had Madonna, Marilyn Monroe, Frankenstein, and the Bride of Frankenstein. It was a lot of fun, and I really do get along with the people at my work so well. A lot of us brought our significant others, and everyone just gets along and has so much fun. That's why we keep doing these things. It really helps with the morale of the office, knowing that we all get to go on a cruise together. We really must love each other. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing these gingerbread houses, and I will bring you back to show you guys when they're all done. And they're all done. Super cute. Like them so much better than the ones that I did last year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below. If you're interested in buying one of these are going to be part of the December 6th release. So I hope you all have a very nice day, and I will smell you later.
Look at that. Wow, that's crazy. Here's the deck of the ship. There's the key bridge. Wow, look at that. How crazy. That's so crazy. Wow, that's wild. How beautiful. Wow, look at this one. Look at that one right there. Look at that guy right there with that crazy outfit on.